city life can be stressful. Everybody's running around, trying to make meetings, trying to meet deadlines, trying to get kids to and from activities, trying to get out of traffic jams. Traffic jams, what a frequent term. Well, they say the universe is expanding and it should help with the traffic. Well, I have a guest today who will be right on the topic because he has the power. He has the knowledge.
The Via Mia Show is sponsored by the following people.
Recording, rehearsal space, voiceovers, video editing in Westminster. For more information, fiascobros.com. Cuts and colors in Uptown Westminster. We welcome our stylist, George of Salon Caliente. For appointment, call 604-544-5104. Private investigations, security and alarm systems since 1972. For more information, call 604-251-2121. Makeup services for television, movie, and photo shoots. For more information, visit victoriawan.com.
Well, talking about traffic, I invited somebody who can be more precise on how we are doing on the road these days, simply because he spends half of his life by driving. Taxi driver, Grant Kennedy.
Nice to be here.
Nice to meet you. I wanted to say Robert for some reason. I don't know why.
Redford?
Robert. Well, such a famous name, you know, you're a lucky one. Grant, well, you were here. You heard me what I was saying about the traffic and all the things. Why don't we start with your company, because you are very, very versatile taxi driver. You're not behind the steering wheel only and watching us closely, how we're doing. You're doing more than that, and we'll talk about it later. The name of your company, or let's start with your website, the VancouverCyberTaxi.com. And I know you have more websites, but they are linked.
Yes.
So I know that, are you owner or are you working for somebody?
Well, as far as the taxi business, I lease a taxi 6 days a week from the owner.
Okay,
Yeah.
6 days a week.
Right.
So I said...
Or 6 nights, I should say.
6 nights. So you choose your shifts?
They're set once you choose either night or day.
Mm-hmm.
12-hour shifts a day or 12 hours at night.
So when you work, you say you work on nights. You like working at night time?
Yeah, that's kind of the paid entertainment. Got lots of stories.
We will get into your stories. I'm very looking forward to. So are you there just because you want to be entertained as much as earn money?
Well, I'm actually a real estate broker, but I'm sick of it, so I quite enjoy the taxi business. The interaction and the connection you make with people is, I think people wouldn't realize the connection you make. So I quite enjoy that. And a lot of people become my friends after calling me, over the weeks. And it's,
well, I believe that you make connections. I mean, you're probably one on the top. And when you said you were in a real estate business, I know you told me that briefly. I completely forgot. Sorry. That two things have little in common. You meet constantly new people.
Yeah. Well, actually, the real estate, you drive people around, and you buy them lunch, and then they don't buy from you. At least when I drive a taxi, people usually pay.
Usually, so it's not always that.
One of the main problems with the taxi business is sometimes people don't pay.
I've never heard about this.
Oh yeah,
have you
never heard of a cabin run?
No.
Oh, well, you wouldn't, because you would never think of doing that. But a lot of, I shouldn't pick on the kids, but they think it's funny. And then some people are just flat broke. Even middle-aged people coming out of a casino, they've
Well,
lost all
no
their money.
wonder they're broken when I come from casino. But okay, so you want to say that you pull over, you bring them to a destination, and they just leave?
Yeah, but that's well, basically the science of it is you got about 8 seconds as people approach the car to decide whether they're going to rip you off, rob you, hurt you, and after you make that decision, if you're really not sure, you ask for money up front, which sometimes upsets the customer, because just because of the way they look, they're not all dressed to the nines, coming from work or whatever. So it's a little dodgy, but if you've taken somebody from Coquitlam to North Vancouver for $50 and all of a sudden they disappear into the darkness, you feel pretty stupid, and it's on us to protect ourselves.
Wow, that you said you have 8 seconds, so you have 8 seconds to read through,
I'm
right?
just
I'm
saying,
guessing,
you know,
yeah. It's
like,
probably,
people are approaching the car and you're making up your mind, because we do have the right to
reject.
Yeah, especially nighttime is primarily, it's fun times, but it's also heavy drinking, like heavy drinking. Like don't know your way home drinking, like not even being able to use the bank machine. Never mind using the bank machine, not being able to get through the bank door.
So I'm quite surprised that they found a cab.
I'm from Winnipeg. If people carried on like they do out here, in the wintertime and 40 below, they'd freeze to death. Honest to God, I can't. People wandering around and not knowing what they're doing. It's all ages, and girls and boys. Primarily, the nighttime is made up of 19-year-old kids.
Yeah.
I call them kids.
Yeah.
It's the basis of the business, because as soon as the girls and boys get their 19, well, they're legal to go into the bars.
Yeah.
And boy, do they ever hit the bars, and they drink really heavy.
Well, we've been there, right?
And they have all that disposable income because they're all living at home.
Yeah.
The parents can't get rid of them anymore.
Well, you know, when you're talking about, okay, you chose the shifts, you chose to work at night, and now you're telling me it's a lot of disadvantages going on there. Or is it a challenge?
Well,
for you?
I'm not complaining. I'm just
I
saying.
know it's not. It's not a complaint.
No, it's just
It's awareness, I would say.
well, actually, one of the biggest reasons is you, in your introduction, you mentioned traffic. I mean, the traffic is crazy. And the job is dangerous, but before you get stabbed or robbed, you're going to get hit by some stupid driver. So, as a matter of fact, one of your lady camera people here, Sue, just got hit in a bus on the way to work today. So, it really is dangerous out there, and it's getting worse. Every city complains about their traffic, but our reality is here in Vancouver, and it's very challenging.
It is, and you know, every city you're watching programs from, people are talking about traffic, it's expanding, it's getting heavier and heavier. So it's not only in Vancouver. As much as they're trying to expand the roads and, you know, trying to figure out the other way to transfer people from place to place, I think before they finish the project, more people are around, so more cars are coming to the road. And yeah, we all see, all of us who are driving, we see what's going on, but you have more chances to see it because you're spending more time there. And many times you were just sitting probably or waiting.
Well, hopefully not sitting too long, but...
No, not too long, but definitely longer than other drivers.
Well, everybody, what I've noticed is everybody wants to drive. Of course, it gives them great independence. But with that comes great responsibility. And I'm not saying I'm the greatest driver in the world, but I've been driving for a long time. And the new drivers, the inexperienced drivers, they can get themselves in harm's way in a millisecond. And then I hate to pick on the kids, I love them, but lots of testosterone there, young males speeding, never mind drinking, just the speed and the attitude behind the wheel. A lot of anger because people are getting uptight because the traffic jams and whatever.
There is a lot of anger in general going on. I think more than ever before. Like I was talking to a friend of mine today who was saying that how much he's looking forward to Christmas. We have a Christmas time around the corner, and he said the only thing is just bothers him that the atmosphere is not like it used to be. He's in his 60s, and he said that People are not friendly enough, at least the Christmas time, to each other. Drivers are constantly honking. There is stress, and that's the kind of way how they put it out with this kind of behavior.
I didn't complete the thought about why I drive at night. It relates to traffic, because there is less traffic on the road at night. The only other danger that you have is that the people that are still out there at 3 and 4 in the morning, either police officers, drug dealers, or drunks, and the taxi drivers. So and sometimes that's when you get into the harm's way, because you're starting to relax, and to the end of your shift, you're tired, 12 hours, and you've got to be attentive, because anything can happen, and a car can come flying out from nowhere, and it could even be a stolen car. Mm-hmm. You wonder why they're driving like a maniac while they're getting away from the police. So
you're in a night shift in 12. So you have reverse day and time. So you sleep during the day.
During the day, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm quite surprised that you are alert right now, because this is the daytime.
Well, I was so excited to see you.
I was excited to see you, and I'm very happy that you could find time during the day. You have also regular clients. I'm sure you build some clientele during the time of.
Yes, and a lot of them become my friends. So
isn't it nice?
The connection is, when people walk by a taxi driver, they don't even notice the person in the car. Mm-hmm. So in actual fact, it really doesn't have that much prestige. Mm-hmm. England has more prestige, the drivers there. But what I get out of it, the personal connection that you make with people is unlike any other business that I've ever been in. And that's what and women have taught me that connection. It's important to have connection in life. Mm-hmm. And I get connected about 100 times a night, because in a busy night I might have 100 people in the car, not individually, maybe 4 at a time. That's only 20 trips, so mm-hmm. It sounds like a lot, but
yeah. But tell me, why do we regular drivers think that you taxi drivers can get away with breaking all those rules and laws on the road, or we shouldn't even think that way?
This is kind of I'm going to get in trouble here, because at my age I hate tickets, and the kids. Here I am blaming the kids again, but they want you to take chances. They want you to put 5 people in the car because they want to economize. Well, we have to provide seatbelts for everybody, and that's only 4 normally in a normal cab. And they want you to speed, and they want different things. And I just don't do that. But I know there's other taxi drivers that may push it a little bit. So
they are doing it only because they are a fulfilling wish of their customers? No,
they're also trying to get to the next trip.
Okay.
So I guess everybody's had a scary cab ride, so yeah. And
I don't really use taxi, but I see them how they drive, and many times I wonder why I'm not the driver right there. Can go faster.
Well, I don't have that much direct contact with the police other than seeing them all night long, but if you transgress in front of them, you're going to get a ticket. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure that you already got some friends among the RCMP, so maybe that allows you to, they can close their eyes if it's necessary.
But if you're being a real idiot, there's no excuse for it. And the one I don't want to get technical, but the one that I see all the time is when you approach an intersection and then people get the green light and then they make a U-turn right there. Well, that's an illegal U-turn on a controlled intersection. That's a $200 fine. Oh, really? You know why I know? I got one.
Okay, that's good you told me. I like doing U-turns. Okay, we're going to carry on after the short break with the taxi driver, Grant Kennedy.
The VMEA Show is sponsored by the following people.
Recording, rehearsal space, voiceovers, video editing in Westminster. For more information, fiascobros.com. Cuts and colors in Uptown Westminster. We welcome our stylist, George of Salon Caliente. For appointment, call 604-544-5104. Private investigations, security, and alarm systems since 1972. For more information, call 604-251-2121. Makeup services for television, movie, and photo shoots. For more information, visit victoriawan.com.
We're back with Grant Kennedy, taxi driver, and we're going to be talking more than his driving only, because like we started at the beginning, very versatile man and very versatile guest of VMEA today. Grant, you know what really I would like to know, because when I took cab, maybe few times, really few times in my life, I noticed there are some taxi drivers really want to have a conversation, some of them they just don't enjoy it at all. How it is with you? You're very talkative. Conversation in general. Are you engaging it, or are you waiting for your clients? How does it go in your cab?
I see it as a little bit of entertaining the people. As I see somebody approach the car, I even adjust the music to the genre that the people might
Very
like.
Nice.
And, the rock and roll, and the young people, not always hip hop, but some of them like rock and roll too. So that sets the mood right off the bat, because usually at night it's a party time. People are celebrating a birthday, an anniversary, a reunion, stag, any number of things. So I try to make it as pleasant as possible. My problem is that I am a little bit too yacky, maybe at 4 in the morning when somebody gets in the car going to the airport and is hungover or whatever and wants to sleep. And don't be a doctor or a lawyer or a chartered accountant, because that's when I pick their brains to find out all my legal problems, my accounting problems, my health problems, and they may not. Or police problems. One time I had a warden in the car, the warden of one of the more infamous jails in Canada. And then the other time I had a district attorney, and I had a question about, I don't know whether you want to go into this or not, but we see things in the cab that we know aren't right. Is that our responsibility to, call the cops when we see that? And the district attorney, Crown prosecutor, said our duty is it's a fiduciary position. You hire me to drive, and if I get subpoenaed because I've seen something and I don't go to court, then it's contempt of court. Otherwise, basically, if you see a drug deal or some other thing, you're not responsible to report it.
You can't do
even
anything.
though in your heart you might feel it's your responsibility.
You're not allowed to, or
no, you don't. According
there's
to
not
the
your responsibility.
Yeah, that's right. Otherwise, we'd be reporting people all night long, because not only is the party time at night, it's the criminal action.
Mm-hmm.
It's the sex trade, and it's the criminals or drug dealers and everything are wandering around, and they're taking cabs.
Yeah.
And as long as we know that we're going to get paid, we don't say, "Oh no, you can't come in. You're a drug dealer."
You should be detaching yourself. That's what you're trying to say.
Well, it's hard to detach if you're like me, because
I know.
you start because you start to get to know those people too.
Mm-hmm.
How's the kids? How's the business? How's
You care.
Well, I just enjoy it. I make it enjoyable for myself. Otherwise, if you were just going from one destination to another all night long, it would be a pretty dead end thing for me anyway.
Yeah, you have to like what you're doing. You need to enjoy it, so you make it the way, so you do. Maybe one question before we step into the other field, what you do, another activity. They say there is one thing that we should never ask you or tell you as a cab driver, how to get somewhere. Is that true?
You mean, in other words, we'll rip you off? Right?
Yeah.
I never do it, by the
you
way.
said it, I didn't.
Well, you know what, I always ask the people, even older people, they have their set route, and even if I could save them money, and I suggest another route, and they want to take their route, I have to take it. I just go with it.
Yes.
But I always ask people what they would like to do. And you have to listen, though. A good example is if you are leaving from the airport to the airport, and this person is either drunk or just passes out in the back. He says to the airport, and if say you're leaving from Coquitlam, and you end up at Vancouver Airport, and he wanted to go to Abbotsford, that's a big mistake. Like that's $100 that way from Coquitlam, and it's $60 to the airport. Okay. So there's some communication that has to go on. You have to listen and not assume
good
things.
that you're the one who is sober there, so
right.
You can make your sober decisions. Why don't we step a little further? I know there is something that we haven't said about Grant, and that is you are also hosting your show. So this is not the first time you, or maybe I don't know how many times you face cameras, but you are a radio show host. So you're behind the microphone a lot. You are the one who interviews people. That's kind of activity on site of your job, correct?
Yes.
So the number one question would be, how does it work for you now when the tables are turned? Because you're usually the one who is in charge on interviews.
Well, I'm very nervous being in your presence.
Oh my God, that's the last thing I wanted to hear. I'm trying to warm up everybody, literally and metaphorically speaking. I don't see you being nervous, but how does it work for you that now you're not the one in control?
Well, I can get a lot more raucous if you want me to, but I'm trying to behave myself. But no, it's just conversation, and that's what happens in the cab, basically.
Yeah, I just wanted to know that where do you see yourself more comfortable, as an interviewer, or just sit and wait for the questions to come?
Well, I like sitting in the cab and then just kidding around. I kid with the kids, and the young girls are all upset about their relationships, and I calm them down. They're crying when they get in the car, and they're laughing when they get out. It's kind of fun just to interact with people.
Yeah, well, I was talking about your shows, but I know that you also brought some pictures. I'd like to see them. Maybe you can help me to understand what's on them. And I think they are from. Oh, what is this?
This is just a fun one. It was on one of my sites.
Okay.
It's just a takeoff on a New York taxi.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's.
And Fiasco Brothers is in the back, which is where I record my shows. Len Osanic, little plug-in for Len, and that's just a regular taxi.
Is that your work?
Yeah, that's the one. I started that one. I'm starting to shoot a TV show out of the taxi. Mm-hmm. The cameraman is in the front.
Okay.
One of your competing TV stations is my cameraman at that point.
Okay, I recognize this studio. This is from Len's Fiasco Brothers studio. I used to do radio shows there.
This is a sadder moment. I did a tribute to the 9/11 victims, and I did all the firefighters in the Lower Mainland. Oh, that's the picture there. And then I did one for the police, because the police and firefighters lost a lot of people in that tragedy. Right. And the firefighters gave me exclusive coverage, pictures of the funerals, and it's up on my website if people want to check that out. I think that would be on whatsupatmen.com.
Okay, because I know that you have more websites, but they're all linked to vancouvercybertaxi.com. So if we go to that website, there are links to the rest of them, right? Yeah. To all the activities, what you do. The
TV show is the nightshift.com.
Yeah.
So, .ca.
Yeah, but that will be also linked to that the major one. Yeah. You had I saw some article also in the paper. They compared you to Oprah, and I think we had it right there. Look at this. So you show like low profile, but people should know about you. You're very different.
Well, it's a male perspective of relationships, and I've been divorced a long time, and you know how when you're single, all your friends are trying to shmush you up and connect with their other friends, and it's fun as long as you're not in a hurtful relationship. It's kind of fun to stand back and see how we human beings are trying to get connected, and so that show is basically about the male perspective of
to be
relationships.
compared to the host number one, it's a huge compliment. Good for you.
Actually, I tried to get Oprah's attention at one point, and I got as far as her secretary, but I guess she didn't think I was big enough.
You got further than me, so you're on your way, that's for sure. Grant, I really would like to thank you for the very fast half an hour I had with you. It really flew very quickly. You have one task, but before I do, I have to read something what I found on the internet just recently, and I thought that I would like to share it with you and with others. And now you tell me if you agree with this. That too bad that all the people who seem to know how to run the country are driving taxi cabs or cutting hairs. So you seem to be with a very knowledgeable person, not only how to behave on the road, but overall. But I think that's the experience you're also taking from other people.
Well, in actual fact, people say that the Vancouver taxi people are the best, well-educated people in the world, because a lot of people that come back from other countries have degrees, but they have to drive taxi until they get into their chosen.
Yeah, we all know how that
you're
works.
Going to give me a mug, are you?
We're going to give it to you just for a few seconds.
Oh.
Somebody, you have to sign this.
Oh, I see, okay.
It can't go away without you seeing. Somebody already asked me when I'm going to be selling these cups on eBay, but it's not going to happen. This is 6th cup representing 6 seasons. Thank you again, Grant. It was Grant Kennedy. And thank you, all of you, for watching via me, and I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.